Aside from being women, Michelle Obama, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and AOC all share a single trait. And I'm sure you're asking, what is it and how the heck do I have it? Well, I'm about to tell you, so don't go anywhere. Hi, I'm Jennifer Kemp. You can call me Jen. I'm the founder of the Master Brand Institute, and here we guide entrepreneurs like you through the process of building a unique message that attracts more of the right people and then converts them into paying clients. I upload a new video every Friday, so be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and then click the bell icon so you're notified when new content is available. Now, on to today's video. So, what is this mysterious thing that you share with Michelle Obama, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and AOC? It's called being values-driven. When we look at these three prominent women of power, we can all agree that they're firm believers in what they do in the world. The titles, positions of power, and influence don't make them. They're simply results of being firm believers of their personal values. And long before they were prominent people in the world, they were women who deeply believed in their core values and consistently shared these beliefs. They've each used their voice to become leaders in their versions of the political space to promote change in the world. And they're each leaders in bringing attention to the conversations that need to be had to create that real change. Now, I don't know these women personally, so I can't speak to what their values are, but no one finds massive success in their lives without being clear on what their values are to begin with. Which brings me to what you have in common with these powerful women. You have a set of values that drive your life. And the better you understand these values and what they mean to you, the more effectively you can share them with the world. The same way they've used to build their political platforms, you can use your values to attract more of the right clients to your business. Values are much more than fluffy ideas and good feelings. For your audience, they're signals that attract the type of people who align with what you believe. For you, they're a decision-making filter to ensure every choice you make is the best one for you. When you consistently and clearly share your values with the world, you signal to your audience that you're someone who cares about creating real impact. In today's world, people want to support businesses making real change. Michelle Obama, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and AOC have used their values as the message to create change from a political perspective. The values-driven framework is the foundation to getting crystal clear on what actually matters and helps you talk about those things. Like I said earlier, when clear on your values, it'll ensure you make the best choices for yourself and attract the right people to your business. The framework is broken into three categories: voids, violations, and vision. And now that I've explained the idea, I'm going to go off script and really dig through the three pillars of the values-driven framework. So when I was in second grade, I went to this Catholic school called St. Michael's School. And so our teachers were nuns. And Sister Fatima asked all the second graders in our class, what do you want to be when you grow up? That's what all second graders are asked. And all of the boys said they wanted to be doctors and firefighters and police officers. And all the girls said that they want to be teachers and nurses and moms. And when I got up and stood up, I told Sister Fatima that I wanted to be the general counsel of Coca-Cola International. That was my answer. Now, I know, it tells you a lot about me, right? But here's my point. If you know me today and you're watching this channel, I'm not a lawyer, which is what a general counsel is. I also don't work for Coca-Cola International. And to be honest with you, all the way up until I was off to college, I wanted to be a lawyer. And there are various reasons why that didn't happen, and I don't regret anything. But it is something that I didn't achieve that I felt so strongly that I wanted to. And so that's an example of a void that does come up for me when I look at my life. What's wrong is when a corrupt president can only be in office for 4 years and put 3 conservative judges on the Supreme Court and overturn a 50-year-old law precedent called Roe v. Wade. That is something that should not happen. And the fact that it can happen shows a major loophole in human rights and women's rights. So the first thing that comes up for me, and I totally know this about myself because I've worked so hard on self-awareness, and trust me, I don't get it right every day. But what's clear to me is, as a little girl, I grew up in a town where I felt like I didn't belong. I was really the black sheep of my community. I had a lot of big dreams. I had a lot of big dreams. I wanted to leave and do big things. And as a result of that, I was heavily ostracized, made fun of, and bullied by people, but especially the other girls in my little town. And so as a result of that bullying, it is something that I've really had to work on, creating trust with other women, being a model for that. And also, like, even today, I'll notice that little gremlin come up when I don't feel something has been fair, let's say in a business dealing, or if I'm approached for a partnership. I notice that sometimes that young Jen, the Jen who was 9 years old and felt betrayed and bullied, it does come up because that's normal and that's human. And the key is that I actually know it. I know it's a violation that does still affect me in my adult life, and then I can make a different choice. Well, when I hear that question, I think a lot about my cultural upbringing. Our family's Filipino. My grandparents on both sides immigrated to the US to find a better life. And I am definitely, I grew up in a household where all of the culture and belief systems of our ethnicity came with the program. And so there's a lot of superstition, and there's also a lot of religion, and then there's a lot of ways of being when you are Filipino and overall at a meta level as an Asian American. Those things include, don't rock the boat. When you want to fight, be passive aggressive. Don't tell people exactly what you feel. Never talk about money, right? These are concepts that when I was younger, I was taught to not be vocal about those things, but I was always a rebel with a cause. And at the same time, I wanted to be the good, obedient daughter and granddaughter. And so there are many times I can think of where I opted out of a hard conversation that I felt didn't serve me when it came to money, when it came to a promotion, when it came to relationships. People perceive me as very confident. But I noticed growing up that confidence created chaos because it was frowned upon in my family. And so taking that into my adult life, into my career, into the business world, those are the things I have to watch for, that I'm not saying no or ignoring an opportunity because of that cultural upbringing. I think that my future self is telling me right now to do it scared every single day. She's encouraging me to do the things that I put on hold. For example, writing books as a step in sharing my legacy and living my values. I think she's saying to me, write that book, then write the next book, then write the next book, and that it's going to help so many people. I think she's also telling me to not worry about my children so much. I think as a parent, we want to do right by our children, especially when we're ambitious, when we are people who want to independently feel successful, but also not want to feel like a crappy parent. And so I think future Jen is saying you did all right because, your kids are fine and everything worked out. And I think future Jen is also telling me to rest more and take care of myself, and that it's going to pay off when I'm in my final moments, that I can rest forever in peace. I always tell people that I want to die completely empty, meaning everything I know, all the wisdom that I've gained and all the experiences I want to live, I want to get them completely out of me while I'm here. so that when I take my final rest, that I have no regrets. And so I think she's saying, well done. Well, I hope they say that I lived my values, that they said that I was a model for autonomy, that I spoke up, and not just spoke up, but was involved in leveling the playing field when it came to women. I'd like to think that they would say that that I was one of the most generous people in sharing what I know, even when I was afraid to. I hope that they see me as somebody who, even as a reluctant leader, decided to lead. And ultimately, I just want them to think of me as a good human and a good mommy. I think people are gonna write in my obituary that number one, Jen Kem was #fancy lazy. That I lived both a life well-intentioned, but also loved beautiful things. I think they're gonna write that I was a collector of eclectic things. It's gonna say that I'm the best-selling author of 6 books. One of the top business books of all time was written by me. I think my obituary is going to say that, of course, talk about my family, talk about my children. And I think that it's also going to say that I was put to rest with a really big party that was super fancy and fun. Now, we've just talked a lot about values, and I'm sure you're wondering, how can I actually apply this information to my life and business? Well, cool. I have something for you. I'm hosting an in-person event called The Messenger in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's 2.5 days of getting crystal clear on the values and message unique to you so you can elevate how the world sees, hears, and pays you. In this event, we're going to workshop ideas to get to the bottom of the values most important to you. And it's going to be a great time with like-minded, ambitious women. Learn more using the link below in the description section. If you found value in this content, please hit the thumbs up button below so we can get this video in front of more entrepreneurs like you who want help marketing their business. And also be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you're notified when new content is released. I'm Jen Kem, here to help you get seen, heard, and paid for the unique value you bring into the world. Until next time.